In this video, guys, we're going to look at the retail trader's edge. Hey traders, welcome back to the channel. Okay, so I was reading an article about gamblers gambling in a casino, and interestingly, this article was a bit of a not very good article, if I'm honest with you. It was talking about how gamblers have got an edge and all this kind of stuff. And one of the things this guy was talking about in the article was, hey, you've got an edge because you can do these certain things. And I was reading through this list, and some of them are here, and really it kind of struck me that actually, as traders, we have a similar edge. You know, there are things that we can do as retail traders that the house, the market, big institutions potentially can't. And these are based on what you could do in a casino that a casino can't do. So I'm going to kind of go between how it works in a casino and trading. And some of these are a little bit flaky. You know, the article wasn't that great, but I thought it was interesting because there was a lot of similarities with trading, and we kind of forget the advantage we sometimes have as retail traders. All right, so let's run through. First one is when you're losing, you can quit. Big one, this. You know, you can decide how much to lose. That's it. As simple as that. If you want to lose a couple $100 a day, you can lose $100. You want to lose 2,000, 20,000, you can choose. As soon as you hit that level, you can stop. Big institutions potentially can't do that if they are executing for an order that's come in from a client, from a customer, for whatever. And obviously the synergy between that and a casino is if you're trading a casino, the casino can never quit. It's got to stay open, can't just suddenly shut the door. They have rules in place, of course, for table limits and what have you, but still, if they're down, they've got to keep playing. Whereas we, as traders, or in this case, if we're talking about gamblers going in, can quit when this lost a certain amount of money. So that's a big thing with traders, guys. We can do this. We can play to our own rules, and as long as we set the rules that are right, they're going to work in our favor. All right, second one, when we're winning, we can quit. Looks like it's similar, but it's not. Because at some point, like if we had a really good couple of trades in the day or in the week, we can take a step back and say, hey, you know what, conditions may have changed, there were good opportunities there, we've made some money, let's bank that money, let's wait for the conditions to come good again. Whereas institutions potentially, obviously it's going to depend on what they're doing. If they're prop trading, which isn't so much anymore, or if they're trading on their own account, then they may not do that, but often they're going to have to be in the market all the time for whatever reason. If they're market makers, perhaps they are, as I say, putting orders in for big clients. Perhaps they just have to be managing money at some point, having to put it to work, put it to use. Whereas we don't. You know, we can say, hey, we've made some money, we're going to quit, going to wait for the right opportunities to come again. And obviously the kind of parallel with the casino, which is where this article, which is where this point was from, is that, you know, once someone's made some money, they can quit and go home. You know, gamblers generally, that's why casinos are kind of nice places to be. There's no windows, no clocks. They don't really want you to go anywhere. They want you to stay and spend all the money. Number three, you can adjust stakes. And actually, before we go into that, guys, listen, think if you're trading as a professional trader, or trading in the view of being a professional, or taking that as a business approach, whether you're professional, monetary value or not, the point is, there's lots of things out there to encourage us to trade. You know, the flashing lights of the brokerage, this and that, the other, the news. It's all a big system wanting us to trade. We need to resist that and trade, you know, when we have an edge. And when we're winning, take our profit and don't give it back. You know, don't give it back and don't lose too much. Anyway, digressing slightly, you can adjust stake size. So when the opportunity comes and it presents itself as a good opportunity in the market, you can push some more chips in, to use the analogy of the casino. You can say, hey, this is a great grade A setup. I'm going to go in a bit more aggressive with this. Generally speaking, it doesn't really work, I suppose, with institutions in the market, but we can decide the stake that we want. The analogy of the casino is that they can't really choose. It's up to the punter, the gambler, to choose how much stake they're pushing in. And whether or not that really is effective, I don't know, in a casino, but from a trading perspective, it definitely is. We know that there's a grade A setup and there's a kind of grade B setup, and the A plus stuff we want to go all in on, and the grade Bs we know it's got a slight edge, but we don't want to put all our chips on the table because the edge isn't that great, the risk reward's not that great. Number four, you can pick when to trade. Biggest one ever. Biggest one ever. We alluded to this earlier, but ultimately as a retail trader, guys, we can choose. I want to trade the first hour of the open. Perfect. I want to trade the close. I want to only trade stocks that are gapping up based on news. We can pick when to trade, and that is probably one of the biggest ones out there. And too many of us don't take advantage of it. Too many of us are wanting to be in the market at all time when the conditions are really not in our favor and are probably have a negative expectancy. We should only be in the market when there are very, very good circumstances for us to get involved and to put our money in. Number 5, you can use different strategies for different conditions. This is something that we can do. Mean reversion, we can flip. Trend, we can flip. We've got strategies. We talk about bolting in strategies into certain market conditions quite a lot on this channel. If you're a subscriber, appreciate your support. This is what we can do. We can decide when to get involved, and we can plug different strategies into different conditions, knowing we're going to get hopefully a positive expectancy from that. Now, many institutional traders will also do that. However, again, the big order type guy who's got X amount of shares to buy in a stock over a certain period of time doesn't have that luxury. He's just got to buy the stock. He can't say, oh, you know what, it's a little bit, I don't want to buy it. He still has to influence the market by buying that stock or that currency pair, whatever it may be. Maybe it's a hedger, maybe it's a company hedging, perhaps it could be somebody who's got a losing position has to unwind it. These are things that we never experience as retail, so we have an advantage. We can get involved when we see that they are not so price sensitive. Okay. Number 6, guys, you can use discipline to develop and stick to a winning plan. Whether this is an edge for retail traders specifically or not, maybe it isn't, but it's something that we know we can get. It's kind of the sum of all this, right? We know we can get involved when we want to, when there's an edge for us. We know we can restrict how much we're going to lose. We know that we can stop when we're winning and make sure that we're not giving anything back, so we can monitor conditions and press hard while the right conditions are there, but not press too hard that we give it all back. We know we can get involved when the time is right. We know that we can use different strategies, and this is the key, guys. We don't take advantage of this enough. We are not under the cosh to be, hey, you've got to put money to work. You've got to put money to work. You need to be in the market. You need to be in the market. You need to have this order done. You need to have. We don't have that. All we've got to do is look for opportunity, and when, only when the best opportunity presents itself, do we want to risk our capital. Not all the time. Not every single trade. Not every single second of the day. We can do this. We can adjust. We can assess, and that is the key to the success in this game, guys, is trading only when we have that opportunity, and we have the luxury of doing that, so let's use it. See you next one. Take care. Bye-bye.